Hello folks, welcome back to the Homegrown Farm channel. Look right here. We got 2 hens that sat. So we ended up, what honey, we had 15, now we're down to 14. One of them died, we don't know why. But the rest of them are really healthy. And so that's the way to do it if you can. You don't have to use the incubator. Now pan out there on your bed, honey. Look at the eggplant and peppers in there. We had to put netting on to keep the chickens from getting in, because they'll absolutely destroy your crop if you don't. But it's all working, and that's the main thing. So now we're gonna come down through here and show you what we just did today. We're gonna do more of it, by the way. We got more to go. This is our okra row. So we put our we already had this fabric down. So we got free wood chips from the electric company right away, and so we spread these out. This is a tomatillo, by the way, that came up on its own. Self-propagating. So this is Clemson okra. We do have some big buck out here, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So Sissy will just pan across. You probably can see that one squash out there. It's ready. We're gonna
let me go around here because I can't see it.
Yeah, we're gonna pick that dude and cook it this evening. Some of this squash doing really good, others we don't know what happened. Now that one plant, that's a one ball there, no, a cue ball.
Cue ball.
That's a round zucchini that Johnny's has. They have 3 different ones of them. So we put marigolds in to keep the squash bugs out. So far so good, we haven't seen any. And this is a golden zucchini. I don't remember the trade name on it, but I think we're about ready to abandon these. We've tried them before, and I don't know why. Right here, they just will not make squash. So if they won't work for you, I'd suggest don't do it. Now, here's our sweet corn. That's green beans. That's a Blue Lake variety. We had extra seeds, we planted. That's simple. So you can see where we're putting this fabric down. And we're gonna come in there and put the wood chip on. That'll help suppress all these weeds. So right here, this is Armenian cucumber. Or Armenian, however you want to pronounce it. These things make, if you let them go, they'll get 20 inches. We've had them before that long. They're a crisper, milder cucumber, if you can believe that, from traditional cucumbers. But we got a bunch of people on these years ago, and we really like them too. So here's our potatoes. We're getting ready to dig these out. We'll do a separate video, and we'll dump these out. Here's our paper box potatoes. They're looking really good, you know. And we topped them off with some composted material, and we fertilized them with liquid fertilizer. And these are blooming, and I'm gonna explain this just briefly. These blooms have absolutely nothing to do with your tuber development. A lot of people think that's so. That's not right. But just so you know. So don't believe these ideals that aren't realistic, because it's not going to happen. So here we got sweet potatoes in this tub.
Okay, honey, hang on. Explain the bags. Because we showed him the boxes. Explain the bags.
Well, the bags, they don't deteriorate right away, but they do get air through the bottom and through the top. So, hey, the proof's in the pudding, guys. We'll see. The jury's still out on this, too. We'll see. But the way the tops look to us, I think we bingoed on this one. Okay, let's come around, because I've got marked what we planted in these tubs up through here. So let's go back around here.
Okay, get your dog, honey.
Come on, Hux. We've got to say little Huxleys in this video. Come on, Mr. Huxley. We're starting to get some sprinkles of rain. We haven't had any rain here all day. The Chakota and Eufaula got a ton of rain. So little Huxley is going to take us around through here. And look, our Armenians are blooming. Won't be long now. They're blooming. Let me see what this is. I think I thought I marked all these. That looks like a small fruited. I think that's a Husky Cherry Red's what I think this is. This is a Jamestown. That's not right because that's a long fruited. That's not a slicer. We got that mixed up. This is one of our insert tubs. So you don't need a fill tube. You put 2 2x4s in the bottom, put a smaller container in, and fill it up and put a drain hole wherever you want it. We put this one up pretty high, probably about 5-6 inches. This thing has yet to dry out. But is it producing peppers? Well, let's see. Let's go on down. We'll kind of compare, okay? This is artisan mix. This is a elongated cherry. It makes kind of a saladette type tomato. We love them. They're all good. We've never had a bad one. Okay, so this is Unagi. And look right there, honey. That one's almost big enough to eat. There's one on the other side. We won't show it to you, but it's twice as big as this. This is a commercially grown cucumber bred by Johnny's. And you do not need a pollinator. Why? They bred them for greenhouse production. Will they grow in the field? Absolutely. We've grown them and they do just fine. So don't let that sway you one way or another. Here's a potato we planted late. I'm pretty sure this is russet, but look at the blooms on that. Is that an indication that they are producing potatoes? I think so. It's not the end all. The bloom has nothing to do with it again. But I think it's a sign that they are setting on potatoes. So this is another Unagi. What tomato is this, honey? Here we go. Dark Star. This is a hybrid between an heirloom and another popular tomato. I can't name the other one, but they make a dark tomato. We've got really, we really like the dark fruited tomatoes. They have so much more flavor, and you don't even have to put salt and pepper on them. Now that's how good they are. This is a cantaloupe. This is Halona that you can get off most seed companies if you want. It makes a medium-sized cantaloupe. We'll see what this does. This is, look at the fruit set on that, and guess what? It's set fruit right on our fill tube. This is pink Berkeley tie-dye.
One of my favorites.
And Josh's.
And our son Josh's.
And he's ate a lot of tomatoes because my dad grew tons of different varieties, and he said this is the best tasting tomato on the planet. I agree, we all agree. Look at this. This is a Johnny's variety of eggplant, and this is Nadia. It makes a medium-sized eggplant that's black skinned. But here's what we think sets this apart from the other ones. It will load up, and it will make a lot of eggplants for you as long as you keep it. It's like anything else, guys. If you'll pick it and keep them picked off, they'll keep producing. But this one doesn't get honker sized. And I think a lot of people are intimidated. What am I going to do with all that eggplant? Well, yeah, that's a good question. So, let me get to the next subject here that's on a lot of people's minds. All right, honey, focus in on this. What is this? We've got it in the ground. You guys that watch YouTube videos of gardening probably know what that is. That's called electroculture. Well, what do we think at this point? Well, the jury's still out. And I'll explain a little bit of this here in a minute when we go in the greenhouse. We've got several of them. This one is the first one I put in. This is a huge copper coil. When I put this in, these jalapenos exploded. And let me explain a little of this. The weather had not warmed up to the point that you would expect peppers to grow that fast and that quick. So with this particular tub, we think it made a difference. Okay, with that said, this is your favorite cherry tomato, honey. What is that?
Black Zebra.
Black Zebra. Look at the little set of fruit in there. And they're still blooming up on top. So we're gonna have a bunch of these. And they're a dark cherry. They're a darker cherry tomato. I think I'm pretty sure this is Itachi's, these two. These are a white cucumber from Johnny's. If you haven't tried a white cucumber, we had people at the market that told us we don't like cucumber. We said, why? They said, well, they're bitter and I don't like that. Well, that's where white cucumbers come in, because they're milder, they're not bitter. We converted a lot of people over to cucumbers with just this variety. And that was good to see, because you know, everyone should like cucumbers. I don't know why anybody wouldn't like cucumbers, but anyhow. So this is Jamestown tomato I wrote on the fill tube. These were the ones that we had last year in our row out here, that they survived the drought, but they didn't make any tomatoes, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give them another chance. I'm gonna plant them in tubs this year and see what they do. So, and this is pink tie-dye, but you notice the fruit set on this one is not as good as the other one. Why? You know why? Because this is an heirloom. That's what I think. Now, I could be dead wrong, but you know, you plant them, you grow them, see what you think. I don't think I know what. Okay, yeah, it is. This is white cherry. White cherry is a tomato we got off of Johnny's on sale, and we thought, well, we'll try them. One of the best flavored cherry tomatoes. It's not actually white, it's more ivory yellowish white, but at any rate, it's a really good flavored tomato. Now, let's go in here and look at the fruit sets on these. Wow! And that's not all of it. Sissy will pan around here in a minute and show you the back side. Look at that. Look at that fruit set. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 tomatoes on there. And the ones we have in the greenhouse, we're going to go here in a minute and show you. They're the same way. There was no difference between the greenhouse production and outside, but let's go in here and look. This is early treat, or the other trade name's 4th of July, so these are an early type, like they probably crossed them with early girl, I don't know, I'd have to research it, but look, the blooms are all the way in the top of these things.
But there's also fruit in the bottom.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4 clusters of fruit on them? Mm-hmm. Unreal. Now we've put a shade cloth on there because it was getting too hot, so we went to, if you want these guys, it's a 12 by 20. We got Harbor Freight, tax and all, $70, right? So that's a good investment to keep everything from getting too hot. Now here, look here, guys. This is our little Mexican Saladette, Roma, whatever you want to call it, that we rescued seeds from. And look at the fruit sets in the terminal. They just keep going. I've had to tie off some of these suckers. Here's one I tied up, and it's growing so fast, it's got slack. I'm gonna have to retie it. These things, look at the bloom. Let's count this plant. This is a different plant. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fruit sets on one plant. Okay, so let's get back to this electroculture. Okay, so I go in and I put this electroculture copper wire rod in because this plant was half as big as this plant. Okay, so let me explain that. We planted these, didn't we, honey, the same time?
Same day.
Same day. So what was the difference? Was it this, or was it just the heat and humidity and the fertilization did it? Look, like I said, guys, the jury's still out for us. We're not going to make a call to judgment like we're some gurus that knows everything there is to know about gardening. We're never going to say that. And I think one thing that this country has got away from is experimentation. This country was built on experimentation, and I'm not going to get into all that, but look at all the inventions and all the patents. This is not patented, by the way. There's no one has a patent on this. They're just sharing it. Now get this. Here's a tidbit for you to chew on. The USDA back in the 19 16, 17, 18s, they were using electroculture. And then they abandoned it. Well, why? Well, because the commercial companies come on the scene and wanted it gone. Well, that right there tells me there's a reason for it. Okay, so again, these are jalapenos. Look at the shade this tomato's putting on. I put electroculture rod in there. They just went ballistic. But not everything has. Now, that eggplant has one in that tub as well. So does these peppers. These were tiny. They were half this big. I put that in, they come out. Again, is it temperature and fertilization, or is it the rod? I don't know. All right, anyhow, signing off, guys. We've got our good celery going here. And we'll see you on the next video. Remember to hit the like, thumbs up, subscribe, if you want more of this information.